Welcome everyone to the 2025 Overbooked Awards, where I went through and stared deep into the soul of my bookshelf, drinking nothing but lukewarm coffee for 3 whole days to go through and create a award show unlike anything else you're going to go through and watch, where I'm going to be honest up front. The judges are 100% biased. The categories really make zero sense. But these stories are so well done and so well put together that you're going to have to go through and pick them up. Each of these stories have kept me up all night, have made it where I could not put the book down, and left me thinking, what did I just go through and read? So go through, grab your drink of choice, sit back, relax, as we jump into the total chaos that is the 2025 Overbooked Awards. All right, folks, so kicking off the night is an award that hits so close to home and reminds me with painful clarity that I could not go through and survive in a fictional world. I would love to go through and assume that I could be the hero of the story, the one with sword in hand, ready for battle and ready for anything that might come our way. But unfortunately, I know that I'm more likely to be that character who trips over a root, drops their sword, and becomes a cautionary tale in the prequel on page 4. So, the award for I'd Be Dead by Chapter 1 goes to Alone Together by S.S. Fitzgerald. This world is absolutely terrifying. The atmosphere totally suffocating. The tension off the charts. Me dead instantly. And it's the story that reminds me every single chapter that if panic were an Olympic sport, I would win gold every single time. So congratulations to Alone Together for being a literary equivalent of my worst nightmare and the first award of the night. All right, moving along to the category that left me emotionally gutted, dehydrated, and staring at the wall in complete silence. This award goes to the book that didn't just tug at my heartstrings. It yanked it out, tied it in a knot, and started playing a sad song as I was questioning every life choice that led me up to picking up this book. And the winner for Therapy Isn't Enough for this award goes to Beartown by Frederick Bachman. Beartown didn't just hurt. It devastated me. The book wrecked my emotions, my soul, and possibly my sleep schedule for weeks. I picked up this book expecting a story about hockey and small town life, and somehow ended up holding the emotional weight of an entire community on my back. Frederick Bachman doesn't just write characters, he writes people so real, you feel guilty when they suffer. So congratulations, Beartown, for winning the Therapy Isn't Enough for this award and for absolutely emotionally annihilating me in the process. Now, after a good cry, it's time to talk about something that's equally painful. Unfinished business. The next award goes to the book that ended so abruptly. I had to check if the copy of the book I had was actually missing pages. You know the feeling. You're flying through the final chapters. The tension is building. And then boom! It's over. No closure. Just me sitting there, whispering, "What's that?" Like a heartbroken detective at the end of a cold case. Now you have to wait for the next book. So the award for I Need a Sequel Yesterday winner is Discovery by J.A.J. Minton. This book gave me everything. Momentum, mystery, moral chaos, and then had the audacity to end like it was the mid-season finale of my favorite show. You can't just drop that kind of revelations and walk away, Minton family. You owe me answers. I don't just want a sequel, I need one right now. Discovery is fascinating, it's intense, and the definition of to be continued. So congratulations, Mint family. You have successfully created a book so good, it physically hurts not to have more of it. And now we move from emotional pain to psychological damage because reading isn't complete until something haunts you forever. This next award goes to the book that has burned an image into my brain that I never asked for. You know that moment when you're reading a scene that gets vivid and your imagination goes, oh, we're doing this. You're visualizing this now in full 4K details. Yeah, that's the category. The award for I Can't Unsee This goes to Eyes Wide Open by Jane Milkovich. Jane, buddy, what did you do to me? This story has crawled under my skin and started to just redecorate. I closed the book and immediately regretted having an imagination. There's a scene from Eyes Wide Open that lives in my head, rent-free, whispering, remember me, whenever I try to go to sleep. It's horrifying. It's brilliant. And it's proof that some authors wield words like a psychological weapon. Congratulations, Eyes Wide Open, for winning I Can't Unsee This award and for officially making me afraid of both darkness and my own brain. All right, it's time to honor a category that exposes every single one of us. The Just One More Chapter Award. This one goes to the book that whispered that dangerous words, and suddenly it's 3 a.m. in the morning. My eyes were burning, and I was bargaining with tomorrow's version of myself to just survive on caffeine and regrets. You know the books I'm talking about. You check the clock, you tell yourself, I'm going to stop, and then the sun's rising. It's that kind of book we're celebrating here. And the winner for Just One More Chapter award goes to The Clatterman by Janelle Shiki. Janelle, how dare you? Every chapter in this book ends with me wanting more, and I fell for it every single time. By the halfway point, I wasn't pretending anymore. I just accepted my fate and leaned into the chaos. This book grabbed me by the collar and said, you're not sleeping until I'm finished. And I didn't. So congratulations, The Clatterman, for turning me into a sleep-deprived monster with a caffeine addiction. And for winning the Just One More Chapter award. All right, we know every book has some kind of hero. But sometimes a side character walks in and steals every scene. And that's what this award celebrates. A character who doesn't just exist in a book. They run it. The Main Character Energy Award goes to the one, the only, Cork from the Envoys of War by Dave Lawson. Let's be real. This wasn't supporting cast energy. This was leading man who just didn't get the memo energy. Every time Cork showed up, I stopped pretending to care about anyone else. The room got louder, the actions got sharper, and suddenly the book's gravitational pull shifted entirely towards him. If main character syndrome were contagious, Cork would be patient zero. Dave, I don't know what you fed this man, but he stole the whole show and decided to burn down the theater as well. So congratulations to the Envoys of War, and specifically Cork, for proving that sometimes the side character isn't just part of the story, they are the story. Now on to our next category, goes to all the books that turned reading into an extreme sport, the Explain It Like I'm 5 award. This is for the story so complex, so galaxy-brained, that halfway through I started Googling my own questions, like I was studying for a final. The kind of stories that you're 20 pages in and realizing you read the same paragraph over 3 times. That's this one. So the award for Explain It To Me Like I'm 5 goes to The Forgotten Moon by Brian Lee Durfee. Brian, my man. This wasn't world building. This was universe engineering. There were names, histories, bloodlines, side quests, and that one part I think I needed a spreadsheet for just to keep track of the sword lore. I understood maybe 60% of what happened, but I respected 100% of it. So congratulations to The Forgotten Moon for winning Explain It To Me Like I'm 5 award. You didn't just make me feel small. You made me feel like I needed office hours with the author. All right, the next award I'm a little too excited about. the most likely to start a cult award. This one's for the character who has absolutely no business being as persuasive, magnetic, and morally questionable as they are. Yet, here I am, ready to hand over my wallet, my schedule, and possibly my soul. That's this award. Charisma so strong, it bypasses logic entirely. And the most likely to start a cult award goes to Mute from The Whispers That Replaced God by Timothy Wolf. Look, Tim, I'm not saying Mute is dangerous, but if he started a movement, I'd be asking where to sign up and what do the robes need to look like. There's just something about the way the story unfolds, equal parts chilling, fascinating, and too convincing. Halfway through, I was realizing I was nodding along like, yeah, maybe they've got a point. And that's when I knew I was in trouble. So congratulations to The Whispers That Replaced God for winning the most likely to start a cult award. You didn't just create a story, you created a movement. All right, we have reached a point where we stop pretending everything's fine and start addressing some behavior concerns. This category is for the character who desperately needs therapy. Maybe a team of therapists and possibly a holy intervention on the side. The Please Seek Professional Help Award goes to the book that made me want to pause mid-chapter and whisper, buddy, are you okay? And the winner is The Christmas Demon by J.Z. Pitch. Jay-Z, my friend. What happened here? This book took the warm, fuzzy energy of the holidays and said, you know what this needs? Generational trauma and nightmare fuel. We went from a hot cocoa and carols to screaming into the void under twinkling lights real fast. These characters don't just need a therapist. They need a whole support group. But here's the thing. Beneath all that madness, it works. It's twisted, it's brilliant, and it's disturbingly human. So congratulations, The Christmas Demon, for winning the Please Seek Professional Help Award. You've officially ruined the holidays, and I loved every horrifying second of it. And the moment we've all been waiting for, the caffeine has kicked in, the tissues are gone, and we've reached the grand finale. The Overbooked Book of the Year. This is it. The book that outshined the rest. The one that had it all. The atmosphere, the pacing, the tension, the emotion, and writing so good it made me forget to blink. And the Overbooked Book of the Year goes to Black Wind by F. Paul Wilson. You did it, you beast. This book isn't just a thriller, it's an experience. Black Wind weaves history, espionage, science, and suspense together like it's diffusing a bomb, and every chapter feels like it's ticking closer to something explosive. F. Paul Wilson doesn't just build tension, he weaponizes it. I was flipping pages like my life was dependent on it, muttering just one more, until I realized I was halfway through. By the end, I was in awe. This is the kind of story that reminds me why you put up with trauma of reading to feel that rush, that immersion, and that complete surrender to fiction. So congratulations to Black Wind for winning the Overbooked Book of the Year. You didn't just take home the trophy, you detonated the entire award show in style. And that's a wrap on the 2025 Overbooked Awards. Congratulations to all the winners. And by winners, I mean the books that emotionally destroyed me, ruined my sleep schedule, and permanently scarred my imaginations. Let me know down in the comments which books you would give awards to this year. You know, give me your own therapy isn't enough, or you can't unsee this type of awards. I want to go through and hear your nonsense. But seriously, thank you for an amazing year. And here's to 2026 of new books, new traumas, and all-nighters. Until I see you in the next one, make sure to stay overbooked.